Hi, I'm Robert Clayton and this is part 5 in how to build a blog on Rails. In the previous video we did the index page and having all of the blogs in one place, and we did our links as well to go between the different places on our site. In this one we're going to do the validation checks. Rails has lots of inbuilt validation checks for us. It does all the hard work for us. That makes our life a lot easier. If we see our articles model here, articles model inherits from application record, which is, if you have a look at the models, one above article here. That application record inherits from active record base, which includes all our validation checks for us. Makes our life really easy. So let's go to our model, let's go to articles here. We want to just add validates title. Now what we're saying here, let's start off simply with presence. True. So what this will do, this will guarantee that a new one cannot be saved if there is no title when you try and save a new article. Essentially is what it says. Now you can do stuff like minimum, and you could say minimum or length even. Should be done like this. Minimum 5, and that would do as it says. It would reject it unless the title is at least 5 characters long, except we don't really care about that right now. But we do want to make sure there's title, and we do want to make sure there is text. So an article cannot be saved unless these two things are permitted. These two things are actually filled in. You can't have any empty boxes. So now that we've set up what we want our validations to be, we now need to go over to here. So what will happen is this save checks if the article can be saved. It either returns true or false. So if it meets those two validations that we've just set, it returns true, and then we will want the redirect to happen. But if it returns false, we don't want the redirect to happen. We want it to render a new form, so that an incorrect one is not saved. So let's just convert this into an if statement. So if articles.save is equal to true, it naturally defaults to true, we want it to redirect to article. Else, we want it to render new, which means here, def new. And we can end that. And then new, we want new to article.new. So it'll create a new form and it will display that back on the page again. So you'd have to enter your details again and hit submit again, and then it would do the validation check again. Great. So now that that's updated, well, let's kick up the server. bin/rails s. Let's just refresh page. Cool. Let's go to new article, and well, let's just not fill anything in, or we just add some text. We save it, and as you see, it just re-renders the page. It says rollback transaction. It hasn't done anything. So what we want to do, we want to tell the user why nothing is happening. So let's go back to Atom. And this time, let's go to the view, because we want the reasons to flash on screen. So we're going to go to new, because when we submit a new submit, when we submit a new form. Let's just go in the top here. And let's just go. Let's open up our Ruby. And let's go if article errors, Once again, we are inheriting this from previous classes, so we don't need to worry about that. .any. So if that comes back as true, if there is errors, let's just close this as well, and a few spaces in there. Right, so if we have any errors, just add a div in there, make our life a little bit easier, give it an ID of error, explanation. Let's make our life a bit easier when we style it in a bit. And I want to close that div out. Great. Right. Well, we want to display how many errors there are. So we want it to be like 2 errors. 2 errors stopped this from being saved, and underneath we want those errors to be listed. So we're going to use a little function which is called a pluralize function, which just, it's a very simple thing. We're going to use it on error, I think, which basically would just change the word. So if there's 1, it will say 1 error. So you pass in a number here. If it's 1, it will say 1 error. If it's 2, it will say 2 errors. So really quite a simple function, but does save some space. So we're going to say article and dot errors, yeah, dot count. So that's just the same as passing a number. Dot count error. Let's close the Ruby. And let's finish off this piece of text, because this will just print the text. So this will be 1 error, 2 errors, etc. Yeah, prohibited from being saved, colon. Great. Okay. Yes, okay, that's stopped this video as being saved. Let's wrap this in a little H tag. Cool. Bump those across. And now we want a list of all the errors. So we're going to have an unordered list. So we're going to have bullet points. Close that unordered list. And we're going to open our Ruby again. And we're going to go add article dot errors dot full messages dot each. Yeah, because then I'll list them in order. I'll call that message. Close the Ruby and close this loop. And we just want to display the message. So as we're in an unordered list, we want a list element, a list item. Open the Ruby. We want to print it to the screen. And let's close that list element again. So we want each message, I guess. Right, so we're going to loop through each error. We're going to display the full message, each full message. We're just going to print that in an unordered list on the screen. Okay, let's give that a save. Go back over to our server, reload it. Okay, new article. And we just try and save an empty one. Really stupid error. Silly spelling mistake. Article. The errors. Right, server is running. Give it a save. There we go. 2 errors prohibited this article from being saved. Title can't be blank and text cannot be blank. So simple. Let's add the 7th one in. Text. And there we go. Okay, one thing left, and I'm sure you know what that is. We're just going to add this to GitHub. Going to commit it, and we have added validations, validation checks to new article. Hey, thank you very much for watching. So now we have our validation checks in place. Please feel free to also research and find more validation checks if you want to add a little bit more security, but we're just checking to make sure there is both the title and text there. In the next video, we'll go on and we'll do updating and deleting current articles.